be a greater asset beyond health asset, an environmental asset, and plus for our community by making many of them electric school buses. So we're going to talk about that, and we have we're part of the Mid-Atlantic Electric School Bus Experience Program, and you're going to hear from some dynamic people today. You're also going to hear from some folks who are going to talk about how your school district and community can get access to either a loaner bus or a demo bus where you can go out and see these beautiful electric school buses that don't make a whole lot of noise and don't leave all the exhaust blowing in your face and and harming your kids and community. But what I want to do first is I want to just make a couple quick announcements. If Kim, if you would be so kind to split some of them with me, if you can announce the last couple, and then we'll go right into our speakers.
So you want me to start? I didn't hear you. You went out.
And I'll finish. How about that?
Okay. All right. So good morning, everyone. Again, we are looking forward to hosting our monthly stakeholders meeting that will take place on April 13th at 10 a.m. I will load the links after I'm done into the chat, so you can feel free to be a part of that. Also for April 18th, which is one of our Green Week sponsored events, that's going to be a virtual discussion on Justice 40. That's going to take place from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So be on the lookout for registration and updates on that. We are also hosting Green Drinks Happy Hour, which is going to take place on April 20th. So mark your calendars for more information for that. And we're also looking to do a ride and drive in Maryland and Northern Virginia around that particular time. Additionally, we know that Earth Week is coming soon. That's going to be the week of April 22nd through the 29th. And so be on the lookout again for more information from us. And we're also going to ask you to donate towards GWR's CCC, because we're doing great work and we want your support. So we want to echo that throughout the call today, and you'll see information upcoming on that. Also, April 25th, we have a grant writing tips on electric school bus. That's going to take place at 11 a.m. So be on the lookout for more details for that. And Antoine, I'll let you do the month of May. How about that?
Great. I'll just go over two quick things. Also, we're doing an event the last week in April on expanding EV charging capacity in the DMV. That's really, really important. I am actually at an electric vehicle electric charging summit in Las Vegas, and there's just so much that's happening in the country and around the world around EV charging, so that we can grow capacity. We have the load capacity. We are charging faster. Vehicles can charge longer. But the key is, how do we make sure that there's enough bandwidth for the utility companies as well? So we're going to have a nice 3-hour event at the Metropolitan Council of Governments in DC the end of this month. So stay tuned. I think I saw Alan Stevens, who's with Energy One Solutions. He will be on the panel as well. We also have our golf tournament. All right, Wayne, I want to see you bring at least 100 people to play golf with us on May 18th at Presidential Golf Course. That's going to be exciting. The day before, we'll also have that week a policy conference that'll be online. So we look forward to you all participating in that. So without further ado, I want to get right into, just give me 1 second here, announce some of these dynamic speakers that we have today. Michelle Bray is a performance and goal-driven individual who's focused on improving sales through partner leadership and accountability. She joined Neal in 2005, where she excelled with her customer relations and worked her way to a leadership role in the bus department in 2016. In 2020, Michelle transformed to lead the sales organization for Neal Truck and Bus. Michelle's strengths are in customer relations, sales management, people management, and coaching people to be leaders. Michelle Levinson is a manager of e-mobility financial solutions with the World Resource Institute's electric school bus initiative. Michelle has expertise in electricity and transportation decarbonization, environmental markets, and project finance. Prior to joining WRI, Michelle was a consultant on transportation electrification projects at Cadmus Group and worked in policy advocacy at the Natural Resource Defense Council, affectionately known as NRDC, and at Next Gen Climate America. She holds a BA in International Relations from Brown University and a dual master's degree from Goldman School of Public Policy and Energy Resources Group at University of California, Berkeley. Sarah Stalcup-Jones, congratulations, the newlywed, is the Research and Heavy Duty Vehicle Program Manager and Chief Equity Officer for Virginia Clean Cities. Her work with heavy duty vehicles directly connects to her equity work, as heavy duty diesel vehicles are a major source of pollution, especially in disadvantaged communities. Sarah has a bachelor's degree in environmental studies and sustainability and a master's degree in environmental policy from Drexel University. Wayne Dhue is been a sales manager at IG Burton for the bus department for 35 years as well. So let's give a virtual hand clap to these dynamic individuals. So what I like to do is I want to get started. I want to start with Michelle Bray, who is with Neal Company, and they're a long-standing partner of our coalition. Very successful company. They have done an amazing amount of work all over the country. A minority-owned business, Black-owned business. Her current CEO is the second generation in the industry. So welcome, Michelle. The floor is yours.
Good morning. Again, I'm Michelle Bray with Neal Truck and Bus, representing Neal today. Will we be introducing the slides? Fantastic. Thank you. So again, like Antoine said, Neal is a 100% minority-owned business. We are based out of Prince George's County. We actually cover Maryland and DC for school buses. We are also a GSA contract holder for the US for IC Bus. On the school bus side of the business, we represent the IC Bus brand as well as Green Power. We also have a truck division of our dealership. We represent brands class 3 through 8, that being Isuzu, International, and Hino. We offer the IC Bus in the EV sector as well as Green Power. We can support you in sales, service, training, and infrastructure, also as well as grant writing support. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us here at Neal. Our info will be loaded up here as part of this. And I look forward to hearing to anyone. So if you are looking for a demo bus, again, please reach out to us. We can set that up. Currently, we do not do loaner buses, but we can do an EV demo.
You say you do demo buses? Yeah.
So we can do a demo bus, or any school districts that are interested in seeing an EV bus, we can do a demo. We do not do loaner buses currently.
That's fine. Good. All right. Anything else? You're good? Okay.
No, if anybody has any questions, again, please feel free to reach out to us.
All right. Thanks. Well, sit tight. We're going to have questions in a few moments. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
All right. So next, I want to have Sarah come up and share with us about the electric school bus program and and also some good information on how to get a loaner and demo bus. And we also have some chargers that school districts can take advantage of as well. Sarah?
Definitely. Thanks, Antoine. I do have some slides as well, so I'll let them pull it up real fast. But as that is happening, thanks everyone. My name is Sarah Stalcup-Jones. I'm on the Virginia Clean Cities team. I am the program manager for our Mid-Atlantic Electric School Bus Experience Project, which Antoine mentioned. It involves the whole Mid-Atlantic region. So myself, Antoine's team, and a number of other Clean Cities coalitions work on this project. And here come the slides. But I will give you guys a brief overview of that project today and let you guys know how you can utilize it. So you can go ahead and move to the next slide, please. So for this project, we are in our third year of the Mid-Atlantic Electric School Bus Experience Project, affectionately known as MEEP. This is a project that was awarded to us by the U.S. Department of Energy, and it allows us to work with fleets in DC, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. The project goals for this project are to increase awareness of electric school buses through hands-on experience. We're working with school districts to connect them with demonstration buses, loaners, and information about the technology, as well as to help those school districts or advocates build local support for electric school buses through that hands-on experience. And then the third component of this project is we're also working with school districts or dealers who already have electric school buses to collect data so that we know more about how these buses will be deployed. Next slide, please. So the main components of MEEP, as I said, the number one thing we are doing is to help school districts connect with the technology providers for vehicle and charging demonstrations. But in addition to that, we're also helping school districts plan for electric school bus deployment, whether you're a school district that has never really thought about electric school buses before and just want base information, whether you're committed and are pursuing funding, or whether you already have a few buses and now you're looking to scale that up. We're also engaging with stakeholders to build awareness of electric school buses and educate them about partnerships and activities needed to support deployment, such as connecting school districts to other peer school districts that might already have experience. We're also working with OEMs and dealers to provide staff training and support operations and also to collect that data on vehicle performance. And then we're also working with school districts, OEMs, and dealers to collect that operational data. And we're really hoping that this will help future electric school bus planning and decision-making at multiple levels. Next slide. So as I mentioned, this is a regional project. So we are supported by a number of partners. There are Clean Cities coalitions in Virginia, the Washington, D.C. area, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. And then we have our great data partner, VEIC, who is also there to help with any technical assistance that school districts are interested in, as well as to provide background information on the technology. And then we have some other partners on the team, such as the National Association for People Transportation, Energy Foundation, Generation 180, and a couple of OEMs, such as Thomas Built and Bluebird. Next slide. So as I mentioned, we are currently in our third project year, and through this project, we've hosted 32 demonstrations so far, engaging over 2,000 people. So I would say that we are pretty well versed in setting up demonstration and outreach events and connecting school districts with that technology. We also have experience with speaking events and virtual events such as this. So I think we have a pretty good handle on how to make these events work for you guys. Next slide. And then sort of going back to what the great folks at Neal said, every school district is different. So depending on where your school district is or what your situation is, we want to work with you guys to connect you with a demonstration that fits your needs. So for example, some states might have different requirements and limitations on loaner buses, or maybe your school district has a specific schedule or location that you would want to either travel to or have a demonstration bus hosted at. We'd love to work with you guys individually to figure out what works best for you. And next slide. And then along with that, I also want to let you guys know that we can also work with your school districts, transportation departments, education departments, et cetera, to also bring education into these demonstrations. So if there is a high school class or an environmental group at your school or something that you would like to bring us in to talk about the technology or the benefits of electric school buses, that's also something that we can engage with you guys on. And I think the next slide is my last slide. So I'm going to leave this URL up for you guys for a second. This brings you to the main project page. All of our project partners have it. And then if you guys are interested in engaging, you can contact myself. You can contact Antoine's team. Just reach out to any Clean Cities that's in your area, and they can get you hooked up with this information. And then, as Antoine said, we're working with school districts to collect that operational data, to get experience data. If you guys are interested in working with us on that, we have some level 2 chargers that we are giving out to school districts to participate. So reach out to us to learn more information about that. And I think that's me.
Thank you. And we have a link, if Laurel's on, if you could put that link for the school district charger in the form. It takes you 1 minute to fill that out, and we'll move it over. Next, we'll hear from Michelle Levinson from WRI, an amazing organization that's working hard on electric school buses. And welcome, Michelle.
Hi, thank you so much. Really glad to join here. And while the slides are hopping up again, I think there's so many great resources and knowledge coming from both the Clean Cities folks as well as the dealers. So I'm excited to kind of complement that work. But yeah, I think hopefully I don't overwhelm you with the number of resources and support. So what we're talking about here is just once you've done this demo and loaner and you're you're ready to take it to the next stage, I want to speak to some of those steps. So the next slide just lays out at a high level kind of what we see as the main process to get these things going. And I'll talk through each of these steps and have some resources associated with each of them. And then we can try to get these slides out with the links embedded as well. So, electric buses, electric is the first word, and your electric utility is your fundamental partner. So you're going to want to talk with them as soon as you're ready to start talking about electric school buses. And you're the next stage is thinking about the business model, because actually electric school buses present a variety of new opportunities to think about how you'll procure your bus, as well as the charger and software that are new assets. The third step is identifying some technical assistance. As you've heard already, there's a lot of technical assistance available, and this can be really critical to assessing the fit of your fleet and routes to electrification. And then the fourth is researching funding opportunities. And we've got some tools available for you. And I'm sure you've heard that there is money out there to support you in this effort. Number 5 is reaching out to the dealers, manufacturers, and other businesses that might be a partner for you. And then 6, we always want to keep our sam.gov, which is the federal government procurement site, account up to date, because there are always specific federal opportunities that you need to access through there. So the next slide, I'll kind of dive in a bit more. And on this, speaking with your utility, we have, you're going to want to speak about the infrastructure that's required, and as well as rates and other programs that they may offer. And we've got some tools. Ours is called the Power Planner. You've already heard about VEIC as well. They've got another great guide for working with your utility. And these tools will help you walk you through the questions that you will want to ask of your utility and that your utility may be asking of you, so that you can go into that conversation feeling prepared. And another piece of this is the that many utilities, and we've already seen some interesting examples, Maryland and Virginia, throughout the Mid-Atlantic region, that have implemented electric school bus programs or have fleet advisory services. So really, there's a plethora of resources that can come from the utility that may be available to you. Another angle on this is the inclusive utility investment, which is where the utility helps you make some of the on-site upgrade investments by amortizing it in your bill. So we've already seen this implemented by Rappahannock Cooperative in Virginia. So we know that it's something that can be popular in the Mid-Atlantic. And then, your utility is really the expert on terms of what are the existing energy sources at your site, what is the level of service, and what may be needed what enhancements may be needed in order to realize your electric vision. The second piece is the business model and charger software and software providers. So I may be able to go into this in more detail if we have time, but as I mentioned, electrification has a different cost profile. We're mostly speaking here to the upfront costs and how to mitigate that, but it also comes with lifetime savings that are much lower than the operating costs of other fueled vehicles. And so when you're thinking about your approach to procurement, you can take advantage of those cost differences. And some of the ways that you can do that are through financing, as well as through alternative business models that may be appropriate depending on your context. So in the next slide, we'll go to, and we can, here I want to speak a little more to the technical assistance piece and assessing fleet fit, which is what I'm using to refer to both kind of the electrification assets, the infrastructure upgrades, as well as route analysis, which can be really important. And, I listed a number here. I think there's probably even more. And this is a constantly kind of changing space. I think I want to acknowledge that electrification is a change and it can be scary, but there are a lot of resources and folks like ourselves at WRI, like the folks at the Clean Cities Coalitions that are really excited to connect fleets with resources. There's one-on-one office hours from the Department of Transportation, this joint office of Department of Energy and Transportation. There's one-on-one office hours from WRI. There's also really interesting and I think valuable cohort learning opportunities where you can be paired or join a group of other districts that may be a similar size, similar stage in their electrification journey, and you can go through the process jointly, which may fit well with kind of helping you navigate the changes. And so let's see, there's just many different places to look for support on this, and I think we're all eager to help. The fourth step here is, I think, where many people start, which is funding and financing. There's, as we've heard, there is this federal Clean School Bus program, but there are many other programs as well. So WRI has developed a clearinghouse of funding and financing opportunities. And one thing that I think is really interesting about jumping in on the funding, looking into funding, is that it's actually, there's a quite broad set of funding resources that can be used for electric school buses. We've seen some districts use USDA rural development grants for economic development and apply those in partnership with their local utilities to their electric school bus projects. And I think what that shows is, being creative and looking far and wide can really pay off. And so I've got that link there, but I want to note, there are the federal programs, both the Clean School Bus program, and then there is also a Inflation Reduction Act tax credits. And you may think, well, I'm a school district, so I don't have tax liability. What good is a tax credit to me? But actually, there are specifications within this tax credit that it can be directly paid to eligible entities, such as a school district. And it also can be applied by your dealer or other or the OEM, so that you can benefit from this, which can be up to $40,000 per vehicle. There are likewise similar tax credits for the charging infrastructure. So this is all developing real time, but that's real money on the table. And then I do want to note that we've seen some very exciting partnerships with infrastructure banks and green banks. So I know they're standing up some green banks in Virginia. They've got the Montgomery County has a green bank, and then there's also state level clean energy funds. And these entities are really, well suited to be a financial partner. And they're very expert in bringing together public funding that you may acquire, as well as helping you construct a financing deal that can avail you of the long-term savings that an electric school bus can provide without having to face one big upfront cost barrier. So I think those are really great partners to look into. And then I cannot emphasize enough the opportunities from the utility, whether it is direct funding, but also through participation in existing programs. So these may be demand response programs or critical peak programs where you avoid consumption at a certain time. And then we've also seen some really interesting pilots. I think Dominion in Virginia has a very interesting vehicle to grid battery program. So there's a lot of creativity that can go into the funding and financing. And we've got resources for you on how to navigate that. And so then this slide I'll speak to is the kind of final steps. And these are just for getting started, right? But I don't want to minimize, the dealers, the manufacturers, and these other business model providers. Really, they're your partner. You hear that, you know that already. And they have a lot of expertise. In addition, we in the kind of nonprofit space and as you're in the government coalitions like Clean Cities, we want to complement that. And so our team has developed several tools. We've got a market study and buyer's guide, which we update every year. And in that document, we kind of cover the full range. What are the current offerings of electric school buses in the US, makes, models, what are their ranges, what are the compatible chargers, these things. And then we also have, what I took little screenshots of, you can see here, some templates for putting out a request for information or request for proposals for a specific project. And so these we've worked on in partnership with school districts that have already procured electric school buses and chargers. So we developed these templates that may be useful and kind of save you time and effort in this pursuit. And a corollary here that I think is really important is that there's also opportunity to piggyback on the arrangements that your colleagues at other districts in your state may have made. And we've already seen a lot of interest in that. That may be something you already do on the regular, but we certainly encourage you to think about partnering or piggybacking on procurements to the extent that that's feasible within your contracting structures. We do also, as I've alluded to, have information on these alternative business model providers. And so we have this electric as a service directory that can provide information on specific firms and what are the services that they cover. And of course, as again, you all know, it's critical to keep in mind the specific specs and regulations for your state. And so with that, I think I'll hand it back to the team. And if there's time later, we can run through this other stuff. But I think we're good for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. What a great information. Next, I want to go. Thank you, Michelle, for all the work that you're doing, and WRI. Love working with you all and appreciate your hard work. Remember, this is being live streamed on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and I think Twitter as well. So next we'll go to Wayne, and then we'll have some nice conversation. I see we have a number of school districts on as well, and consultants who work with school districts. So right after this, we'll have a nice round of questions. All right, Wayne.
Hi, good morning. That was a lot of good information there, Michelle, the last speaker. I appreciated hearing all that. I'm Wayne Dhue. I'm with IG Burton's, and we are Bluebird's oldest dealer. They've been a bus dealer for Bluebird since 1948. And in the electric area, Bluebird offers a type of every type of bus. There's a type A, a type C, and a type D. And Bluebird offers an electric model in all three types. And I just like Kay Neal was speaking earlier, or Michelle from Kay Neal was speaking. We don't have loaners in Maryland, but we do demonstrations, and there's demonstrations just a phone call away. It's that simple. And the dealer in Virginia will do that also. Just a phone call away for Bluebird, the dealer down there. Sometimes the demonstration could happen at your location or at another local close location. And every application of an electric bus is depends on fleet size and route lengths and things like that. So there's a lot of really custom technical information that's available through many of our resources and departments in Bluebird, which I'll get into in a moment. So it's really more than just a demonstration. It's really an education and a map for how it's going to be applied to your district. But we can help with all that, and we'd be glad to. I'm going to get into Bluebird. Bluebird is the leader of a low emission and alternate fuels in the country for school buses. They've got over 20,000 alternate powered school buses. They use propane, CNG, and electric, and they're just by far the leader in it. I don't want to get off the electric, but the propane is a popular option here in Maryland also. Next, please. Next slide. There we go. Bluebird. Interestingly enough, they had their first electric bus in 1994. And what not a lot of people don't know, I mean, some very old technology has been replaced, certainly. But much of the engineering of that bus was done right here at Westinghouse, that was located by the BWI airport. So that was a Maryland engineered electric bus back in '94. Next, please. Like I said, Bluebird is the only manufacturer that builds all three types of buses. They also offer all three levels of charging, V to G, and they've got over 1,400 buses now on the road in the United States and in Canada. A lot of good experience there. Of course, the benefits of the electric bus, I mean, it's been very obvious. It's zero emissions, whereas, like I said, the propane's a good alternative, but it's not zero. You can't beat zero. It's reduced maintenance costs to the point where a lot of maintenance it only requires once a year maintenance. Quiet operation, which is nice for the drivers and the children. There is funding available as was mentioned earlier. And the buses just they're really fun to drive, nice to drive. It's a been quite an experience, and that is why demonstration is important. Next, please. Is the we also have this type. This is up to 30 passengers. It's a Type A bus, and it has a range comparable to our larger buses, like in 120-mile range area. And this has been a popular item in the areas that use the smaller bus. So that's another option. It is less expensive too than the bigger buses. Next. And there's our Type C and Type D. Now they had the up to 120-mile range, and 155 kilowatt battery was standard, but they do have optional batteries now that increase the range by about 30%. Next, please. There you are. This is interesting. Cummins actually is the king of diesel power. It has been historically. I mean, they've been in the diesel engine business for over 100 years, I believe. And they are actually providing all of our components for our electric buses, batteries, and the drivetrain and all. So a big worldwide diesel company like Cummins is actually providing it's kind of funny the things you see, but they are providing that now, and they're really stepping into the electric powertrain business. Next, please. With their system, the nice thing is that with their Cummins, service system and Bluebird's combined, there's over 400 locations across the country. So this is really getting mainstream, is what I'm trying to say. So locally, the Cummins service center is located within a couple miles of BWI Airport out on Route 100. That'd be like the closest one here in Maryland. They also have a location in Manassas, Virginia. Next, please. Oh, that just gets back to what I was saying earlier about just about once a year for maintenance. This is really supposed to cut the maintenance costs quite a bit on a bus. That enough. And if we do meet with you, or we have the fortune to meet with you and do a demonstration and an assessment, we would even probably be able to help you put a number on that. Of what, after we evaluate how many miles you drive and the application of buses and things, how much money you could actually save by operating electric. Next, please. This is some of the things that Bluebird offers and we offer too locally. There are a lot of different teams, I should say, at Bluebird that would help us assess the needs of your bus and the application of that for every district. From everything from the infrastructure to your battery management to just even monitoring the bus and drivers' behaviors and things like that through our telematics system. We do have grant writers that maybe not as sharp as Michelle earlier speaking, but we do have some grant writers available to help with some of your funding application, from everything from the state level to the federal level. And we'd be glad to do that. Next, please. Get it, the next slide. I can't get it there. There we go. This just explains that Bluebird does offer on all their product level 2, level 3 charging. So even if you had, say, at a shop, you had one kind of charger, and at a school, you might have a different charger. All this is available on Bluebird buses. It helps, just that more charging is available, more types or any type. Next, please. And Bluebird does have a partnership. One of the partners, I mean, they got a lot of people that we've worked with charging and infrastructure and stuff, but they do have their own brands of chargers available, for multiple units, level 2 or level 2. Part of the group that I was talking about that would help up to the assessment. And like I say, a demonstration and assessment is just a phone call away. So just reach out to us, and hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.
Thank you for all that information. So I wanted to, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat, and we're ready to take any questions that you have. I know that we have a number of school districts on that here, and thank you for being here. If you put the school district that you're in the chat, that would be great. I know we have a couple in Virginia as well. I was trying to see where the other districts were. But if you can put the name of your school district so we can acknowledge your presence, or if you're working with a couple school districts, feel free to do that as well. I wanted to give Sarah just a chance to talk about how it's gone for you all working with the loaner buses. I know it's really not that hard, and then I'll go over to Michelle to, sometimes it could be intimidating. A lot of these school districts are so busy, Michelle, Bray, and making that phone call can seem like an eternity. So if you could put your information in the chat so they know how to reach you as well. But Sarah, what's your tip for the school district on trying to get that bus and trying to figure out what's the right one to get as well?
Yeah. So I think one of the great opportunities that we can provide to school districts as Clean Cities Coalitions working on this project is that we're kind of like a neutral third-party technology information source. We're not trying to sell you guys anything. This work that we're doing with you guys from this project is free of cost to you guys. So there's really, other than, like Antoine said, doing that phone call, shooting us that email, there's not a lot on your end that you have to contribute, especially just to get that information. Then when it comes to setting up a demonstration or a loaner, as we've mentioned, it sort of depends on where you're at. Like they said, you can't do a loaner bus in Maryland because of some state regulations. Virginia, that's a different story. Pennsylvania, that's a different story. It just sort of depends on where you're at. So we'll work with you guys to figure out what dealers are in your area. If you guys have preferred dealers, if we can get you a demo specifically set up with one of them. And then, as we mentioned, and as Antoine mentioned, we know that you guys have super busy schedules and a lot of times are understaffed and overworked. So we can figure out what fits your needs. If it's a multi-day demonstration, we can work with you guys to try to figure that out. If it's just an afternoon where we bring a bus down to your transportation department, that's something that we can do as well. Or if it works out easier to bring a bus to a centralized location and have multiple school districts join so you guys can network and get some other stuff done at the same time. So I think that there's a great opportunity and we can be flexible with you guys. And so all it takes is that little bit of outreach, and we're here to help you guys handle the logistics. So it's less pressure on you guys to get it set up, just so you can learn about the technology and ask us questions there.
All right, why don't we go to the Michelle Bray and Michelle Levinson to add some additional commentary on that. Michelle, you wanted to just share with how how you've worked with school districts to get those demo buses? How's it gone for the company?
Sure. Good morning again. So we have worked in the past with some different school districts where we deployed a bus to their location. We have also had some events here, which I know you guys have been a part of as well. So we've had some events here at our main facility here in Hyattsville, Maryland, where we had about 5 different buses on display. We also had a charging trailer, which was an education facility for people to come to. So it was a really great event. We hope in the future to be able to do something like that again. just because there is so much buzz around EV. And a lot goes into not just education to the customer, but education to the technicians and the people that are going to be driving the buses as well. So please, again, like Wayne said, and I said, please reach out to us because it is a whole process. It is time consuming and there is so much information to kind of try to put in one space. But what we need to do is make sure that that space fits for your school district.
Thank you. And Amanita, we will answer your question in a minute. I want to go to Michelle as well.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I think the only other thing I would say is that the, speaking with districts that may be further along in their electrification journey can be really exciting and encouraging. I think a lot of the folks that have taken the first step have learned a lot and they're generally big proponents. And so it can be really helpful just to get that on the ground firsthand experience from a peer. So we definitely encourage that as well. And as everyone has said, can't say enough about getting on the ground, seeing a fleet in action and speaking. And I really appreciate Michelle's point about thinking through what a transition means for all of your colleagues, from drivers to maintenance professionals and the energy and facilities managers at your site. So I think what this is integrating a lot of different teams, and it's really important to bring everyone together.
Awesome. So we had a couple questions, and I want to give folks a chance to respond. The first question was, what is the maximum charge rate acceptable for a Bluebird school bus? That was for Wayne from Allen. Wayne, you want to jump at that?
I'm gonna be accurate here. I'm looking it up real quick. I just had that here. Charge rate. Well, the new battery they have a maximum 60 kilowatt charge rate on the old battery. I'm not sure if the charge rate's any faster for the new battery or not. That, of course, that would be with a level 3 charging. The 480 volt type.
All right, thank you. So Sacker, Amanita Sacker, I hope I'm not butchering your name.
No, you didn't. It's Aminata.
Okay, Aminata. Okay, thank you. What programs are in place for independent schools? Are you working with VCPE? I know we would love to. We reach out to a lot of school districts, and we would love to work with you on your school district to get to some of the independent schools to do some riding drives and some demos and loaners, whatever we can do to help. So I put my email in the chat. We'd love to get some scheduled for April or May if possible. Sarah, you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, what Antoine said is perfect, I think. While the program that we're running is funded by the DOE, and I know that a lot of their funding typically is, or EPA funding typically goes to public school districts, we want to help any type of fleet that runs a school bus. So private schools, even like universities and things like that, we'd love to engage and get you guys demos and information.
Yes, let's do that. So I gave you my email. Let's get something out. We'd love to, we'll do a webinar. We'll do bring a bus out. We'll meet with your transportation team. Whatever you need, we'd love to go near and far. So let's make that happen. Okay. All right. Next, And we'd love to get one of those chargers out at your school too. All right, next question was from Stephanie McGreevy. My experience with fleets managing their own vehicles that they have a very difficult time with the conversion schedule for most affordable zero emission replacements, all while integrating the pilots into the longer term placements for parking and charging. We can run analytics for the most affordable conversion in case this helps. Anyone want to chime at that? I'm not sure where that's going, but anyone want to respond to that?
I'll just say, and Stephanie, I'd be glad to connect with you afterwards to make sure in the WRI electrification as a services firm directory, we have done our best to really capture the full suite of firms across the industry that offer services that can complement any of the various approaches to procuring and bringing an electric school bus into your fleet. Whether you're working directly with your dealer and procuring directly, you still will need software and charger management software, which your dealer can help with, but there are also other options. And so this goes to kind of the variety of business models that may suit different school districts. So yeah, I will include in our slides and the resources, hopefully that can get shared out after, links to the electrification as a services firm directory, and that will include services such as those that Stephanie laid out. So thanks, Stephanie, for really emphasizing that.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Does every business need to have a sam.gov account for EV federal support? It depends. If you're trying to get one of those nice school bus grants, that would be yes, right, Michelle? If you just want to participate in our program and get some technical support, that would be no. But if you want some of that some of the $5 billion or $8 billion I think they have, then you need to have a Fed sam.gov account. However, those are a pain to start, but there are a lot of folks on this call that can assist you with that. Michelle, Michelle Levinson, do you want to jump at that at all? Respond?
I think that was perfect.
All right. So I'd like to do all of our panelists, our speakers. I want to thank everyone that's watching us on social media, all the different channels. I will also want to thank our team, Kim and Laurel, and some of our new interns are working with us to take in some good experience. So I want to thank them. I also want you to make sure that you understand that April 22nd is Earth Day, right? And us tree huggers like myself, we get really excited about April. Love Fair Housing Month, but I also love it's Earth Month as well. It went from Earth Day to Earth Month. Make sure that you get involved. We have a lot of great activities. We have an event coming up, I think, on Tuesday. That's talking about, I think it's on how to become an EV contractor or something like that. But whatever, we have an event coming up, and we'll make sure you know about it as well. The last thing is, if you're not a member of GWR-CCC, I'll put that in the chat. Please become a member. We do a lot of great work, and membership matters. And we'd love for you to become a member, get some of the member benefits as well. Without further ado, please share this link as well on your social media pages so that we can continue to get this information out. Many school districts, as Amanita said earlier, are small. They need help. They need support. You have traditional public schools, you have charter schools, you have big school districts, you have small school districts. Even the big ones need help because they have a lot of funding opportunities and they need technical support. A lot of public and private sector industries are struggling with staff right now. And so staffing is a major issue but this funding is so necessary. The health consequences of not doing electric school buses is very significant, because the number one reason why kids miss school throughout most of the country is asthma, and dirty school buses are a direct connection to kids with asthma. So without further ado, I want to thank you all for being here. Have a great time and great day, great weekend, and we'll see you at our next event. Take care.